All right, so we're showing you guys, the battery's almost dead. We're showing you guys behind the scenes of how we film. It starts off with a brief argument from Jared and I, and then we get to work. Jay's doing audio. I did the light setup, which he doubted me on. Has yet to compliment me.
Well, we don't know if it would have been
Has
the same.
yet to compliment me.
We don't know if it's gonna be the same. We didn't have to do all this, probably.
Yeah, we did because it's a diffuser and it's bright as hell out here.
Check, 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 check.
Hey there, lovers and friends. We are in Costa Rica right now, getting lovely and friendly because we're here on our honeymoon. We wanted to invite you guys into the pool for a second to chillax with us and just have a casual chat.
Yeah, we did a video like maybe a few months ago, and we got blasted about our age difference.
Hi, I'm Shan Boudram, but now Shan Brady. As of 3 weeks ago, I am 33 years old and I'm a sex and relationship educator.
I'm Jared Brady and I'm 27 and I record music.
Blast is an extreme word, but essentially it was like a thing.
Yes, it was a thing. I think a lot of men were against it.
So with that being said though, I have a pretty big question for you, and you have to be honest, okay? 100%.
Yeah.
Are you at all embarrassed by our age difference? But before we get to that, we have a word from our sponsor, Squarespace, that we want to slide in there, show them some love, and then we'll get back to the conversation.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your online business. I'm telling you, Squarespace is a one-stop shop. Transfer your existing domain or buy a new one directly through Squarespace. They offer the most stunning, easy to use, and always ahead of the curve templates. Customize a beautiful and powerful online identity with Squarespace.
Welcome back. We are here still in the pool.
Still in the pool, still chilling, still honeymooning, still showing you guys some cleavage. What's up? All right, so the question I asked you right before was, are you embarrassed by our age difference?
I'm not. I think it's not strange to me because every person that I know that's in a good relationship, the woman is older. My dad's in a relationship where the woman is older. My grandma's in a relationship where the woman is older. And it's just something that I saw growing up all the time. So I don't know. It's not strange to me.
Are you telling me honestly that none of your friends, nobody was like, had a big reaction to it?
No one had a noticeably big reaction.
I do remember when like your mom found out about our age difference. It's like she was over at our place. Ah!
It's okay.
It's a dragonfly, they don't bite. Your mom was over at our place for Thanksgiving and it somehow came up and they were like a little shocked by it.
Just taken back.
Yeah, a little taken aback by it. So I wouldn't say embarrassed is the right word for me, but I will say it's one of those things that I know people are gonna react to.
I'm gonna cut you off right there because I think most people's reaction is because you don't look that much older than I do. So I think people's reaction is more so like, oh, I had no idea.
Well, let's backtrack. When we first started dating,
Yes.
when you first found out about our age difference, did you have a problem with it at all?
I knew off the top that because you were older than me, that there was going to be a maturity gap that I was gonna have to close. So not only am I going to have to keep up the love, keep up the spark, but now I have to accelerate my maturity level. Mm-hmm. So I knew that I was working uphill. So from that vantage point, I was like, I wish you was kind of going through the same things as I was. But you were already past the early 20s stage. Oh, be careful,
babe, live.
Be careful.
Oh, survive.
Okay, come back. Come back. It's okay. What's wrong?
Just relax.
What's wrong? Stop looking around my head. Watch out. Come down. I was just curious. So, I got a hair makeover.
Jared wants me to note that he killed it.
No, I did though. I did kill it.
Okay, so anyhow, we were talking about the beginning of our relationship and the age difference. You were saying that you felt that you would have like an uphill battle. Personally, when we first started, we were buddies. Like, that was the criteria of our relationship. That's what I was looking for more or less at the time. And so you didn't have to be my age or older to qualify for that job. Oh, look at you right now. It's being so hot. Damn. I will say that what made you a great sexual partner, I don't think is something that comes with age. It is that authenticity, like that truly being in the moment, not being influenced at all by videos you've seen in the past or experiences you've had or what you used to do with your ex. Like, you genuinely listened so well, you paid attention, and you reacted according to what we were doing. And I've definitely had experiences in the past where I felt like, oh, like this is 5, 6, 7, 8.
Routines.
It's a little routine. So I think that, like, yeah, your age didn't matter in what I wanted you for. And by the time that I wanted more from you,
we were already in love.
We were already in love,
Yeah, it's too late.
So what is the greatest con, do you think, or difference?
The acceleration of having to mature and having to do things in life that maybe, you know, I would have waited until like 30 something, you know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, there's sacrifices that need to be made, and I'm more than willing and happy, and I'm grateful that I got to, you know, mature in that age.
You're talking specifically about marriage.
Marriage, maybe moving into a house, maybe moving into, you know, certain situations that I feel like on my own I probably wouldn't have made those jumps. But at the same time, like, I think that's more of a man pride thing.
Right.
And so,
and there's a certain look, feel, bank account number that Reddy would have meant for you.
Yeah, and so even though I think a lot of the leaps and bounds that you've made, we done together, it just would have felt a little bit better if it was all on me. But that's my man pride.
No, I mean, I think it's 100% valid, and that's one of those things that, I mean, I talk about this pretty frequently because I think it's important that women do discuss this. Like, there is a massive difference in the way that men view marriage, the way that women view marriage. There is different pressures, there's different incentives, and so we had to have that discussion. And the time that we actually got engaged, we had been having the proposal conversation for a year prior to that, you know? I think the funny thing is that Jared was the first person to say that, like, yeah, we're life partners, this is it. Like, we did that video with Stefan when you're like, yo, she's it for me.
Yeah.
And then maybe 6 months after that, I brought up marriage to Jared, and he was like, whoa, marriage, what? And I was like, how does that shock you? Like, we just already had this discussion, but...
I think I was like 24 at the time, 25 at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I at the time, it was like, I looked at it like, yo, shouldn't me wanting to be in this should be all that is needed. And I get it that in my mind, this is where I was thinking. I get it that you want it, and I get it that it's gonna feel good for you. But for me, it would feel so much better if it was moving at the pace that I felt comfortable with.
Yeah.
And it would have felt, you know, like, all right, I have the money for the house. I have the money for this. And so it was just kind of like, instead I had to go lease a thing, you know? And so it just didn't feel like it would have felt.
Do you regret it at all, or do you wish that?
No. And that's not. This is more of a conversation of just talking about the cons first, right?
Yeah.
So there's a whole list of pros that outweigh the cons so much more. But I mean, in realistics, if we're being straight honest about it, that is a con. That the way that I proposed and everything was a leased ring. The way, you know, it just didn't feel like you did that.
I bring this up all the time to you, how we were watching the Ali Wong special, and she was like, I was so surprised when my husband proposed to me because I'd only been pressuring him for like 6 months. And it's funny because people just rarely tell that side of the story, that what happens when the couple has really different timelines. Where I do think, not to jump into the pros, but I am super grateful that on kids, we're on a very similar timeline.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that reason. I said this in the Jubilee video, which I didn't get to explain, of like, I'm grateful that you're younger because as weird as this is, as a woman in her 30s to say, like, I'm truly not ready for kids yet.
Yeah.
And Jared is not ready for kids yet at this time. And so I feel like by the time that you're good, I'll probably be a lot more ready to make that sacrifice in my life.
The fact that you're older and you went through life a little bit, when I go through despair, you're kind of able to help me and guide me to be like, yo, everybody at 27 feels this. This is not like new, and you're not different, and you're not weird, and you're not going through something unique.
I have complete empathy and space for you to be 27, to be going through a fraction of that.
Yes.
Because to me, like, you're ahead of where I was at your age, but I also recognize that with time and sticking to one thing, I was able to benefit. And I believe that for you, you've never given yourself the chance to fully see something through.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to give you that space and to also give you that assurance to be like, it's gonna work out. I mean, I can't promise it, but I can say from experience and from knowing you. And
Statistically.
But I also think that we have discipline in common.
Yes.
That's the one thing I will say about the age difference not mattering that much is that Jared's insanely compassionate, which I think is a trait of time. And then also, I think that you're so disciplined. You're so vibrant and daring and fearless. And I just think it's such a turn on to me.
And Shannon won't even get in the water.
I mean, I still enjoy myself. I'm very risk adverse.
She was
you know
like,
what I mean?
oh no, I'm having a good time just watching.
I am.
What is that? If that's not the oldest thing she's ever said in her life. With all that being said, is there any advice out there that you would give someone that has an age gap in their relationship?
The biggest piece of advice I'd probably say is if it matters to you, let it matter. I think any gap, if there is a financial gap, if there is an age gap, if there is a maturity gap, and that you feel that's a really big deal, then it probably is a really big deal. I talk to a lot of women who are dating someone older, and that person constantly brings up, well, you're young, well, you're immature, you won't get there yet. And that's just very demeaning. I don't think I do that to you.
No.
I try my best not to do that because ultimately, like, I'm selecting this person. I am choosing you. So by choosing you, I'm saying, yes, this is not a big deal to me.
Yeah.
Like, you have to give them a little bit more space to figure out things that maybe you already know. Perhaps you have to give them a bit more space to go through a phase in life that maybe you're perhaps past. And so even though, yes, you have to assess somebody on their emotional intelligence, you know, physical age, society-wise, plays a large part in the path that someone does something in.
I think my advice would be, I think you should assess somebody off of their emotional and social intelligence rather than their physical age, because if you find someone your age that doesn't know themselves, doesn't know what they stand for, doesn't know what they believe in, then there's going to be a gap in there naturally. That doesn't matter how old they are, doesn't matter how young they are. So it's a difficult thing to do, to try to please someone that can't please themselves, sexually and just in life. So like, I think everybody should learn themselves first before they try to give themselves to someone else.
I'm building the website of my book! Is that a good segue to Squarespace? I am actually searching right now for an advanced web designer who is very well versed with working on Squarespace, which is my favorite platform. I love reaching out to my supporters because you guys have such incredible wealth of talent, of knowledge, which is why also the comment section is my favorite place. So while you watch the Squarespace ad, go down there. We want to hear from you and tell us, would you date someone younger? Why or why not? If you have in the past, spill the tea on me.
Get you a younger dude. It's good times.
It's great times.
With Squarespace, you can be rebranded in no time, and you don't have to hand over a bunch of cash to a website designer. They have loads of easy-to-use templates, and they are so customizable that making your website unique to you is simple and fun. Squarespace is the solution. It's a one-stop shop for your portfolio, online store, or really whatever you need. Need a domain? No worries, you can buy one directly through Squarespace. Already have a domain? No stress, transfer over your existing domain today. With Squarespace, it's never been easier to have an online presence by allowing you to manage your products, orders, and inventory in one spot. Squarespace also has you covered with standout email campaigns for your mailing list. They truly are the easiest and fastest way to launch your business today. So go to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/ambooty to get 10% off your first purchase of a domain or a website.
Yeah, I used to think about you when I had no one to talk to. Hella bougie, kinda moody, bouncing when you walk through. And you used to get that Brazilian wax. Yeah, I put that on